YouTube, the final frontier. These are the live streams of the channel Captain McKay Random. Its continuing mission? To explore strange new action figures, to seek out new hobbies and new conversations, to boldly stream where no one has streamed before. Here we are. Welcome, one and all few of you that I see are still in the chat already. This is the Captain's Log. This is Wednesday night, the 2nd of October 2nd. Yeah, thanks to the chat for reminding me that I'm actually in direct competition with AEW and NXT tonight. I totally forgot. So that's my bad. But, hey, there's still some people here. We got some people already have been chatting. Nice. This is going to be really hard, says Zombie. I know. I understand. It's my own fault for just totally forgetting that this wrestling thing is going on tonight. I'm going to have to look into the ratings and see if I might have to move the stream to a different night for, for the future. Except now it's kind of tough to find a night of the week when wrestling isn't on. I don't know. It seems like it's always on, which was not a problem I had when I was a big wrestling fan. So, I don't know. Let's see. I am like the ECW of this Wednesday Night War. I'm a little less bloody. Well, that is until my Mortal Kombat video comes out. Lily Gordon, Khalil, Predatorius, Evan. What's going on? Thursday so far. Thursday I go play Pokemon. Damn. Burnout Inc. What's up? He's here, but he's driving. Well, hopefully we can offer you a smooth ride home or ride to wherever you're headed. Tuesdays seem free now. Maybe I will jump over to Tuesday night. Be must-see streaming service. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But then again, maybe the ratings of the chat won't be heard at all by AEW, or NXT, or any of it. A couple different things going on this week here. Just got this guy today, this Legends Captain America 80th anniversary. I couldn't find this in stores at all, but I got the tip that somebody, I guess on Instagram, had listed that it was available on Walmart's pickup service, so you can just order it online and go pick it up at the store. So I did that, and that showed up there today. So I got the text on my phone, stopped in to Walmart, I should say, after work, and there we went. Feeling pretty good about that. Also got the final issue of House of X today. If you're an X-Men fan and you're not reading that story, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't find the individual issues, wait for the trade paperback. You won't regret it. Did I see the Harley Quinn movie trailer? I did not. Is that the Birds of Prey one? I didn't see it. Let's see. Did I know that Figma released a Masahiro Chono figure? I actually didn't know that. Wow, that is awesome. Did they have a line of wrestling figures, or was that just kind of a one-off thing? Because Figma's weird. They'll release one or two figures of a property, and then just never go back. I know there's a bunch of people that are still waiting for them to finish. Was it One Punch Man maybe, or one of those lines that they did, Guts, I think, from Berserk was another one. There's two different versions of Guts, but that's it. Just a one-off. Okay, well that makes sense. I don't know what it is. Import kind of specialized wrestling figures seem like they're tougher to sell to an American audience. The SH Figure Arts wrestling figures, say what you will about them, but they kind of canceled the line pretty early, in my opinion. And Storm is doing their thing now with the Hogan figures, and I guess they got the Jushin Thunder Liger figure coming out, which looks awesome, actually. I'm not even familiar with Jushin Thunder Liger really as much as maybe I should be, but that figure looks really nice. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Well, that was it for kind of the import figures, Bandai and Storm and that. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Am I going to see Joker? Yeah, my plan is to go probably next week, because I do have next week off. Gearing up for the big birthday on Friday the 11th. So you know, gonna spend a week just doing things I want to do, including this weekend going to New York City to do a bunch of things and see some of my friends that are in town for Comic Con, which is nice. And after that, go maybe Monday or Tuesday, go home, visit the family for a couple days, and then just relax, get some animating, and editing done, and yeah, lots of stuff that I'm not even gonna plan because it's vacation. I don't have to plan. William Rush, what's up? Let's see. Lily Gordon says, "What will the Joker look like? Will it be the Joker from the Joker movie or the Joker from Suicide Squad?" Oh, in this Birds of Prey movie? I think the Joker movie coming out has nothing to do with any of the other movies. So the Suicide Squad Joker might be what's in there. Although then again, I didn't see the trailer, so I have no idea if that movie has even anything to do with the previous Suicide Squad. I don't know. I mean, these DC movies are all over the place now, which is why I'm happy about this Joker movie not having anything to do with any of them. I'm totally fine with that. Space Case and Latoya, what's going on? Good to see you guys. Oh, let's see. Might as well take a look at this Captain America, since, I paid for it. So, get them open. Let's try and not make this loud. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Especially to poor Burnout Inc. driving, listening to me breaking open plastic. Alright, so figure looking pretty nice so far. I'm not going to sit here and mess with it the whole time. He does come with an alternate head, which doesn't look really all that different from the head that's on him right now. It looks like that little scale armor thing that he has kind of on his torso is a separate floating piece. I don't know. It's an interesting design. But pretty cool figure, just from the looks of it. My first impressions, I like it. Maybe the blue could have been a little bit lighter, but I'm sure with this body mold, we're going to see it again. Hasbro does love their repaints. Thoughts on Stranger Things 4 announcement? I'm not surprised. It'd be good to see them come back. I'm curious to see what they come up with for, the cliffhanger they left on Season 3. And it'll be weird to see if Eleven winds up powerless. At the end of Season 3, she just didn't have any of her powers, it seemed like. And what happened to Hopper? So, who knows? I read some, fan theory online. I came across it that, how at the end of Season 3, spoilers for if you haven't seen it, but at the end of Season 3, they have, the Russians have a prisoner in, some, underground, facility, I guess. And they only call the person, they only refer to him as the American. But some people are like, maybe that's not Hopper at all. Maybe that's Barb from Season 1. And I was like, that'd be ridiculous. But, I mean, Stranger Things, by and large, has been pretty good. So, I'm happy. Let's see. Latoya has the Captain America with a wolf head. I remember that one. I didn't get that one, but actually, that was a pretty good figure from what I recall. Lily says, you can't have Joker without Batman. I wonder if Batman can have a cameo in the Joker movie. I hope he doesn't, because Bruce Wayne is like a little kid in the movie, so it wouldn't make any sense. This movie, and I've heard a lot of people say oh, it has to have this and this and this, but the way they're doing this movie makes it look like they're just we're gonna do our own thing, and if you don't like it, that's fine. If you do like it, that's fine too. Me personally, I'm ready for something different. I've seen enough versions of Batman versus Joker. I don't need to see that every time. Let's see. Oh, and you said the same thing about Birds of Prey. You can't have Harley Quinn without the Joker. That's a little... that comparison makes a little more sense to me because Harley Quinn was invented to be, part of the Joker's origin. Or, no, the other way around, I should say. But, yeah, she was invented as a part of, her origin has mostly to do with the Joker, is what I mean to say. But... I don't know. Yeah, there's plenty of Harley Quinn comics now where the Joker doesn't show up and they still sell just as well. She's kind of one of those characters that, almost like Deadpool, where you can just put her anywhere and, have her make sense to the story. Let's see. Hopper is in the Upside Down. Dr. Brenner is the American Papa. Huh. That's interesting. I just saw Vince Fear's rating sign in the AEW crowd. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of that, I bet. I wonder, is Jim Ross doing the commentary on the AEW TNT show? Because I know that he works for them on pay-per-view. Is he doing, all the weekly commentary, too? Let's see. is Stranger Things a kid version of the X-Men? Not really, because out of all of them, like, only one of them has any kind of powers, whereas the X-Men, like the original X-Men, were like high school age kids who all had powers, and like a part of their education was like learning how to control their powers and how to do all their like how to operate as a team in the field and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. They got him on there? All right. Now I'm actually very curious. And that's the thing. I was curious about AEW pretty much since it started, I guess. And I haven't seen a single show. But I'm hoping that it does well, because generally speaking, when there's like good products to compete, they kind of bring out the best in each other, which is something I like. I've been listening to a lot of 83 Weeks lately, which is the like Eric Bischoff's podcast that he does with Conrad Thompson. And if you don't know Conrad Thompson, he basically does every wrestling podcast ever now. So, but it's very interesting to go back and listen to that kind of stuff, because Bischoff is one of those guys who, he tells from like a side that I wouldn't have ever really known much about at the time, because I wasn't a WCW guy. So like hearing his kind of input on WWE and what they were doing at the time, and then what WCW was doing at the time, and how he can go back now that he's kind of a completely different person than he was then, and look back on some of the things that was going on then. It's a really interesting show. And same with Bruce Pritchard's podcast too, the Something to Wrestle. Good stuff. So if anybody had to guess what's going to happen with these ratings, like who's going to win this war that supposedly started like 15 minutes ago, is it going to be like, is AEW going to like even be a blip on the radar, or is it going to just be like, yeah, it's something else to watch, but it's not amazing or anything, like it's not setting people's minds on fire when they're watching it? I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Meanwhile, let me see, I got Captain America here. I got Thor, stands a pretty good amount taller than him, which is nice. I don't have the Iron Man from the 80th anniversary, because that figure, as I remember, had a lot of problems with it. Like some of the parts were on wrong, and there was like paint issues on most of the ones I've seen, so I skipped that one. I was actually really lucky that, I knew I was taking a risk on like paint apps and stuff when I bought this figure, without, just basically hoping that they sent a nice one to Walmart for me to pick up. But I don't see any real like imperfections or anything. The white star on his chest could use a little repaint, a little touch up, but I think that's just because they put too thin of a layer of white over the blue. But yeah, besides that, I like this figure. This is really good. Captain America. I might even like him a little better than Thor out of the wave. Did some editing a couple of days ago. Put some sound effects into some of the Mortal Kombat stuff I'm doing. It's looking good. I'm really excited to eventually like release a actual like preview video for it, like a trailer coming soon type thing. Swig of beer for the working man. Tonight is Cosmic Sour by Samuel Adams. Not one that I'm gonna, buy tons of, but it's nice every once in a while to get something different. Since I saw somebody ask, that was Latoya. This is the 80th anniversary Thor. You can get them at Target, Walmart, Marvel Legends figure. I'm trying to think. Where's the package will look just like this, just like the Captain America Thor. But he's good. He comes with extra hands too, so he comes with like a fist in this one, and an open hand for like, I don't know, like flying or whatever you want to do. It's good stuff. Let's see. Gotta say I was disappointed with Stranger Things writing in Season 3. The bickering between Joyce and Hopper with the funky 70s music in the background I thought was super annoying and repetitive. I guess that makes sense. I don't think actual adults would act like that. Yeah, I mean, some of it was definitely played up for humor. Let's see, Frederick says, I think WWE is in trouble simply because everything they were doing before this past Monday was boring. AEW will try something different that WWE hasn't done in a while. I think, yeah, I mean, anything that freshens WWE up, I'll take it. I'm happy about that. I did see that Raw has like a whole new set and a stage, and they're like doing a lot more of the like the pyro and stuff that they used to do. They're not just going through the motions anymore. Like they're actually trying to make something like, I don't want to say with effort into it, because that kind of sounds like I'm undermining the wrestling all that has been happening before then. But yeah, production-wise, they're doing different things, and I think that's great. AEW is rated TV 14. Well, okay. I wanted to say NXT is going to be AEW in the long run. I think AEW will start out hot, but eventually just taper off. And honestly, I think they'll be pretty even after a few months. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. Like AEW, there's a lot of hype behind it because nobody knows what it is. And I think after a couple of weeks where people figure it out, like if it's awesome, a lot of people will stay on and keep watching it. But if it's just something else, like more wrestling, I don't know. Like, will it have that kind of long-term appeal? Let's see. Lily's drinking Pepsi. There you go. Swig of Pepsi. It's very difficult to watch AEW and listen to this at the same time. You see, I'm sorry about that. Like, what I need to do, ultimately, is I need to get a TV over there somewhere so I can watch AEW and just call commentary and still stream at the same time. I don't think it's something that people would like because, you know, they have Jim Ross on their commentary team and I'm just a guy that makes YouTube videos, so maybe I'm not the guy to do that. But, yeah, still, it's just an idea, just a thought. Let's see. Can you please show off your Wonder Woman? I don't even know. I have one Wonder Woman figure, I believe, and I don't know where it is. Sorry. Let's see. Evan says, did I check out the custom wrestling ring channel I told you about? If so, what did you think? I gave it a brief look, but I meant to go back and give it a better, like, just actually like explore it a little more, and I haven't gotten a chance to. But thank you for reminding me. Maybe I'll get into that tonight. Kevin Smith's in the crowd of AEW, really? I mean, I know that could be interesting. Like, is he like a wrestling fan? I don't know if I knew that about him. Let's see. Zombie. Okay, I already have an issue. They talk about this on podcasts all the time. Both Cody and Sammy both use springboard cutters in the same match. Why? Are they like a team? If it's the same match, it makes sense if they're like a team using the same moves, or if it's like one guy using another guy's move to like get under his skin, maybe. Like that's the only way I think that can make sense. I don't want to say like that's the only way that it makes sense logically to me. Like if I do an awesome move and my opponent does the same move to me as a way of taunting me, that makes sense. But yeah, if it's just like every match somebody's doing the exact same move, that's damn it D-Lo, as OSW would say. So, I don't know, hopefully. Let's see. Lily is recording AEW and NXT, so watch tomorrow. Rather watch Captain McKay random. Well, I can tell you, this is nowhere near as exciting as actual pro wrestling, but thank you. I'm happy you're here. Both Jay and Silent Bob. I did see they're doing a Clerks 3. Did I just read that? Where they got, was it Dante and Randall coming back too? I'm curious, because I liked Clerks 1 and 2. I mean, 2 was a little off the wall, but it's fine. It was funny. Let's see. What are my thoughts on the new Raw stage? From what I saw, it looks, I mean, it's something new, which is nice. It didn't really, like, catch my eye. I don't know. I'm a sucker for the old school stage. Like, I like the old 98 and 99 Raw stage with, like, the big Titantron that actually played, like, videos and not just, like, a guy's name or, you know, little, like, tweets about the guy. Which, by the way, I saw, like, Ric Flair was apparently now a 17-time champion, even though the agreed-upon title reigns were 16 as far as I knew. So, that's a fun thing to learn from the video screen. They're wrestling each other. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Is it a situation where one of them is, like, mocking the other one then? It's something that, like, it's not just an indies thing, too. Like, I know, like, what do you call it? NXT has a lot of similar type things like that. Or maybe I'm just getting old and I can't tell the moves apart. But it's a lot more kind of twirling and flipping and stuff now than it ever was. Because you've got much lighter guys who are more athletic in I guess, that sense. So, you know, they all want to show off and get noticed, which, more power to them. The Young Bucks will be mad at me. I mean, they might. I'll hear all about it on Thanksgiving. They'll be upset with me. Nope. Cody did it, then Sammy did it a few minutes later. All right, well, maybe they just misjudged their booking. I'm sure if Jim Ross has a has like anything to say about this on his podcast this week, he'll bring that up. He'll be like, why are they doing the same moves, like, to each other in the same match? Like, that's no way to tell a story. Hopefully he tells them that, too, because, I mean, they're not going to learn if he doesn't say anything. Let's see. What else do I got? Oh, this is something interesting I found here before on Instagram. This is, I believe, Incurable Collector posted this. But New York Comic Con, as you know, starting tomorrow. And somebody had a picture of this Storm Collectibles Superman from Injustice. Now, the thing I like, and if Burnout Inc. is still listening, I will describe it. It's from Injustice 1, and it's the good guy version of Superman. So, in my opinion, it's the one that looks better out of the two designs that they had for the original game. So this is not the Insurgency one that was bad and like took over the world. This is like effectively our world's version of Superman. And the figure looks really nice. I mean, I can see a little bit of Darkseid's arm in the bottom corner of the picture, but I can't I can't tell specifically what the scale is. But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm liking it. There've been a few more reveals of the Injustice figures. So like I guess Bane and Darkseid and Lobo are all up for pre-order. Coming out in the next like 3 or 4 months, all of them. And Doomsday I haven't heard anything about yet, but that's cool. Like it all out. I think they counted like 3 Canadian destroyers on the whole pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, it seems like these high stakes, high caliber moves are like kind of replacing all the old school like basic moves. Like nobody used to bat an eye if there was like, 3 arm drags on a show, because who cares? Everybody's doing that stuff. But now I guess everybody's arsenal has all these moves that it's just like, I guess that's the new headlock, Canadian Destroyer. Joseph Miga says it looks like the Nicolas Cage Superman costume. I think it looks a little better than that. Let's see. Latoya says, if I can hunt any famous horror character, who would it be? I'd hunt Leatherface. He has no powers. I mean, I think I could probably handle Chucky. He's just a little doll. But then again, he's tiny. He could fit into places where I can't, and he could probably get the drop on me. Leatherface is like just some big guy, so I'd have to be careful, but I'd at least see him coming or hear him or something. That's a good one. What Mortal Kombat figure do I recommend to get? Well, let's see. You can't go wrong with Scorpion. I know the original Scorpion's prices are through the roof, but they do have a brand new one coming out it should be like in a month or two, I think, based on how he looked in like MK Trilogy. So go for that. I mean, Scorpion is basically like the main character like of all the Mortal Kombat games. Like maybe not in game as the protagonist, but if somebody says Mortal Kombat to you, odds are one of the first characters you're going to think of is going to be Scorpion. So get him. He's good. Let's see. I remember when the Canadian Destroyer was so amazing. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, like all this stuff used to be like just, I don't even know how you would describe it. Like just mind-blowing stuff that nobody was doing. And now it seems like everybody's doing it every like match. And it's the law of diminishing returns, I had the same issue like back then with the Hardy Boys. Like, oh wow, they're diving off the top rope constantly. And then next thing you know, it's like amazing because he's diving off a ladder through a table. And then people got tired of that. So now he's got to dive off a bigger ladder through 2 tables. And it's like, well, eventually that goes. So nowadays, a ladder match isn't just 2 guys on a ladder like it used to be. It's like 20 ladders and one that's much larger than any of the other ones. And somebody's getting thrown off of that. And, I don't know, escalation. It's all just... you can't do something that no longer impresses people. It's like they said in Jurassic World, where regular dinosaurs just don't impress people anymore. We have to make custom dinosaurs that are meaner and bigger, and I guess there's a point to that. People become desensitized. Let's see. Petey Williams was the guy that did the Canadian Destroyer, I think. Yeah, I believe you're right, because he was that was in TNA. That was his move. Let's see. ARW stop motion. Send a link. Oh, channel link on my Instagram. You can check it out. Yeah, next time I'm on Instagram, I'll have to open it up. Let's see. Who would I rather have as a bodyguard, Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers? To me, they're both. I mean, they're basically the same kind of powers, right? They're just both big guys who seemingly can't die. I'll take Michael Myers just because I prefer the look of Michael Myers over Jason. But yeah, either thing, that'd be pretty good. Let's see. You have a little bit of the bubbly. I mean, I got my swig of Samuel Adams Cosmic Sour. Here's to Chris Jericho. Let's see. Lily, I'm planning on getting Mortal Kombat and Super Street Fighter and do Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. I wonder who would win. They are, I mean, both have their pros and cons as far as their fighters go. It's weird to say because fighting game logic dictates that, you know, a normal guy can just beat up like a warlord from Outworld or something like that. Like, there's really no reason why, you know, Liu Kang, who's a karate guy, can beat up like Shao Kahn, but he does. And so, you know, Street Fighter kind of suffers, well, not suffers, but it kind of like goes by those same tropes where like, right, if you have M. Bison, how is anybody going to beat a guy like that? But somebody does, so, you know, whatever. Video games, LOL. Zombie said, I subbed to the PlayStation Now service today. They sliced the price in half to $10 a month. Really? That's pretty good. I just got, well, my roommate got it for me. Battlefront 2, the PS4 version, is, I had the first Battlefront, the Star Wars, a couple of years ago. And, you know, I heard all the negative press about Battlefront 2 having all the, was it like the loot crate system? Was it that kind of thing? Or was it more like a, I don't know, it was like in-game currency. I know there's a bunch of crap that EA, like, pushed as being okay, and then it become like the most disliked thing on all of the internet for a while. So, I don't know, played it a little while last night. It's fun. Good stuff. I don't think I'm going to, like, dive too deep into, like, all the customization options, because that, I think, is where people get caught up in all that. But as just a game, it's not bad. I dig it. Let's see. I was in the 3rd grade when I first saw the Canadian, and I went apeshit in a good way. I couldn't believe it. ARW stop motion. My WrestleMania 12 Shawn Michaels Elite is coming on Saturday. Nice. Okay. So you got the WrestleMania Heritage one. Is that the one you were mentioning last week, I think? With the belt and everything? That's good. Let's see. Thoughts on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? God, me. I don't think I know anything about it. This might be complete news to me. What is it? Is it a video game? Jedi Fallen Order? I'm trying to think if I've seen like a preview for that. I may have. Because I know Mountain Man showed me some Star Wars thing, but... yeah. Tough call. I don't actually know it. I ever had a crush on any of the females in Super Street Fighter? I used to have a crush on Cammy. Not in Street Fighter, but I mean, as a kid, like some of my superhero crushes I've definitely had. It was like a couple of X-Men team members. I was like big fan of Rogue. Big, you know, I like Jean Grey on the cartoon also, in the comics especially. Pretty much if Jim Lee was drawing her at the time, I probably was in love with her. That's, you know, 1991, and I would have been, let's see, 8, something like that. So, yeah, big fan. It's like single-player Star Wars game made by EA. Alright, so I feel like I have heard of this then. I'd have to see more about it. I don't know if it's the type of thing that I would buy. See, my thing with Star Wars is like, I think I'm kind of a lapsed Star Wars fan. Like, I really used to love the original movies, and then the newer ones didn't quite hook me in again. Like, I had years of kind of like accepting that maybe I didn't like Star Wars as much as I used to, because of like everything with the prequels, and after that, like, it kind of just went all over the place and became a little too muddy for me. But Force Awakens came out, and I really liked it, but it didn't leave me wanting to just be all in with Star Wars again. And so that's why when Rogue One came out, I didn't even go see it. Last Jedi came out, didn't go see that either. I wound up watching them both on Netflix, and, you know, they were fine for what they were, but nothing to write home about. And I know there's a lot of fans of Rogue One that I've probably just upset. But I did go see Solo, though, and I will admit I like Solo. Let's see, Zombie. My favorite Star Wars game was Republic Commando for the original Xbox. That's a good one. I remember playing that very briefly, but Scorch, right? Was that was the main character? Because I had the Scorch action figure, the 3 3/4 one. And matter of fact, he was actually in Battlefront too. Like the armor you can get, it looks like the Scorch armor. Let's see. If I had unlimited funds, what stop motion would I make? Completely unlimited funds. I mean, realistically, as I think about the answer, it's not so much the funds that I would need to be unlimited, it's time. If I just didn't have to go to work, I'd be able to make so much stuff that I would think was great, and I just don't get to because of having responsibilities, like having to pay for things, which means I have to go to work, and it's such a pain. But God, it's more like what wouldn't I want to make? I would love to do some Street Fighter stuff. I'd love to do some Ninja Turtles. Finally finish X-Men Brotherhood. A little bit more. As I look, I mean, I see I would probably even do more little JWF stuff here and there. Like maybe not the full shows and the full matches like I've been doing, but just do little things here and there just to keep people with something to watch. This Mortal Kombat thing I'm doing is ambitious, and that's why it's taken me so long to do, and I think people are going to like it when it's out, but, if I had time to do it, it'd be done a lot quicker, which is part of the reason why, again, next week, when I took that time off, I definitely plan on putting in some serious time with animating or editing or any of that kind of stuff. Let's see. Latoya says, I noticed as I became older, I noticed wrestling started to be more gymnastics. It's like, WTF is this? Yeah, there is definitely an element to that. I think wrestling is best when it's balanced, I guess, is maybe the word for that. So if you look at somebody like Shawn Michaels, he was obviously very acrobatic and able to do a lot of the flips and rolls and all the ducks and all the little stuff that athletic wrestlers do. But when he landed a move, it looked like the move hurt. And there's a lot of stuff now that doesn't quite look like when it connects that it actually is hurting the opponent. And I get that, obviously they're not supposed to really be hurting each other, but a lot of the stuff they're doing now just kind of looks like they're just kind of rolling their opponent, and then the guy just kind of flips, takes a bump, and it doesn't look like the first guy actually did anything to cause this guy to fall over. It was I don't know. It seems more over choreographed now, if that makes sense. And that's not a dig at modern wrestling, because there's a lot of good stuff out there too. But if I have one nitpick of it, I think that's kind of it. DOA Hitman, what's up, my bros? I mean, they're on TV tonight, so we'll be seeing them shortly. I'm hearing. Let's see. The Rock will be on the Fox premiere of SmackDown. Honestly, I'm not pumped up. See, I love The Rock, but I don't think he needs to be doing anything with wrestling anymore. I get that, he might want to do it, and that's why he's doing it. And SmackDown was named after one of The Rock's catchphrases, so it makes sense for him to be there for the beginning of, its brand new chapter moving forward. But, I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to wrestle? Is he going to, last time he was supposedly coming back was 6 or 7 years ago, and he didn't really stay back. He came back in that the Madison Square Garden match, I think, was, I don't know if it was Madison Square Garden, actually. It was the Survivor Series match where he was a tag team with John Cena, and afterwards he said I'm not going anywhere, I'm back, this is my home. And then he didn't wrestle again until WrestleMania. And it was what was going on? I thought you weren't going anywhere, but you're also not here. Let's see. I was watching the 56 Godzilla black and white film earlier today. Oh, the classic. Good. I heard Punk ask The Rock to call him while on SmackDown. I was actually, when I was going through my YouTube subscriptions, I saw one of the, I don't know, probably What Culture or something. That was one of the videos they put up. Might have been them. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, excuse me. But, I mean, that could be interesting. I'd see that apparently CM Punk is like in talks with WWE, and I say in talks in air quotes because God knows what wrestling reporting has done to this story. But, yeah, supposedly that's going on. I do like, again, going back to those podcasts I listen to, like how frequently Conrad Thompson will bring up like the Meltzer and Wade Keller and all that stuff to Eric Bischoff or to Bruce Pritchard or to any of them, and like more often than not, they're just like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just making stuff up, and he's getting stuff from sources who are probably just mad about something, and so they want to stir up all this crap. And yeah, meanwhile, Meltzer still got a job, still got plenty of people that think he's right. So I don't know. Do I think the rumors about Punk's return are true? I wouldn't be surprised if he landed some kind of like agent role. I mean, it would be something. Does AJ Lee come back if he comes back? Like, what happens? Let's see. My favorite Godzilla cry came from the 56 film. And then what happened to your stop motion stuff? I'm still doing stop motion. It just takes me longer to get anything done because the project I'm doing right now is huge. So that's kind of why that's taken forever. But, what did I do recently? I put up, it's not recently, but I put up JWF Rite of Passage back in March or April, whatever that was. And, that's good stuff. Not a ton of people really watched it because, like, I don't think wrestling stop motion is something people really go for as much anymore. But this new one I'm working on should be fun, and hopefully people watch it. But if not, I know personally that it's the most ambitious project I've done, and I'm excited about it. And my channel, I mean, people are still going back and watching the older Godzilla videos because when King of the Monsters came out, like, all of a sudden, some of my Godzilla videos started, like, going up in views again. And I'm like, well, I'll take it. I mean, it's great. I'm glad people are liking it. I do have plans to follow up Aftermath at some point after I'm done with this Mortal Kombat project. Let's see. I'm doing a Rumble stop motion for my channel. Oh, God. Good luck. Let's see. Lily Gordon said, was there a figure I was hyped for, but when I got it, I was disappointed? I'm sure there was. As I look around, I don't see one offhand. But yeah, I'm sure it's happened. Like, if there was, a lot of times, like, it's due to like quality control too. Like, so if I get a figure that I've been looking forward to for a long time, sometimes like the paint on it isn't great, or like there's some weird like defect with the figure itself, and that just like kind of makes me like, man, that sucks. That did happen to my NECA Batman, my Michael Keaton 1989 Batman, where the one I got, his leg broke off as soon as I opened it. I was just like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, I was looking forward to this figure. Let's see. DOA Hitman, I want more Godzilla from you. Well, I mean, it's coming. It's not coming anytime soon, I'll tell you, unfortunately, because of time and everything else. But stay tuned. You'll get it. My plan is to have something Godzilla-related out by the time Godzilla vs. Kong comes out, because I think that'll be a good time to release something. I realize saying that now means I have to like get it together and like really get moving on this project first. I will say, though, this one, I don't want to say it's almost done, but it's like I don't have as much left to film as I initially thought I did when I was thinking about it more recently. I was like, you know what? I'm closer to being done than I realized. I'm definitely past the halfway point with the filming, so that's good. Let's see. I'm in shock about a 2001 Harry Potter Hagrid film I have that's somehow still worth around $20 loose. Nice. Remember the Elite X-Pac with the loose legs? The Elite X-Pac? I don't know. Mine is fine. The DX one, right? That's the only one I have. There was a 6 figure, too. I don't know if that one maybe had loose legs. Let's see. Could we ever see Marvel stop motion? Like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thanos, Loki, Captain America? Maybe. I mean, I've done X-Men stuff, and people do enjoy that, so if I do like superhero stuff, I think I want to scale it back a little. I don't want to do like huge long episodes. Not that I don't want to do it. I really enjoy doing that stuff, but I just think for the viewer, it might be better for me to just not do as much of that. I don't know. It's really just kind of up to what people want to see. AEW versus WWE. Well, I mean, I guess AEW versus NXT tonight. Let's see. Hopefully, Cap, someday you can have a big enough following to quit your job and do YouTube full time. As much as that would be awesome, I don't know about YouTube full time, but I would like to animate or do video editing of some kind, or just any kind of fun production stuff. Like all this crap I like doing, people do get paid for doing all of it, just not me. So I gotta fix that. And don't get me wrong, if I had a lot more spare time, yeah, I definitely would be uploading more videos, more stuff like that, because people do like them and I enjoy making them. And I also enjoy seeing what people think of the stuff I make. So comments and conversations and stuff like that, going back and forth with people is always fun. Let's see, mint figure. The one with the European belt. Isn't Haggard figure. Oh, Haggard figure, okay. And the one with the European belt, that X-Pac. Okay, so yeah, the DX one with the green. Mine, I think, is fine. I mean, my bin of wrestlers is there, and it's got stuff on top of it, so I can't, like, go through that. Nobody wants to watch me go through that anyway, but JWF is better than AEW. I mean, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong. I was very happy with Rite of Passage. It was good stuff. It was a lot of fun as I just knock over the camera. What else do I got laying around here that I could show? Nothing really new. I mean, I've been trying to like hold off on some money because I got. Let me see if I can find. No, that's not it. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can dig something up for everybody. As many of you know, I'm a big sucker for Mortal Kombat. So, New York Comic Con is happening in the next couple of days. And they are, let's see, they're exclusive for New York Comic Con is Smoke. And I'm trying to find a picture of the new Smoke. They did, the Cyborg one that's coming out. Storm Collectible Smoke doesn't bring anything up, so let's try 2019 Smoke. Maybe that'll get something. And no, it's all just still pictures of... Oh, there he is. Okay, cool. Gonna download this bad boy real quick, and I'll be able to put it on the screen so you can see. I spoke with a friend of mine today, a man named Swift. He's a good guy. Always see him every time I go down to the city. He's going to the con. He said he's going to be able to pick me up this Smoke figure, so I'm always happy to be able to have somebody that's able to help me out. Certainly appreciated. So let's see. Here we go. Cyborg Smoke from Mortal Kombat 3. Looking good. And they also showed Cyrax and Sector are both coming out in the next couple of months as well, which are the other two cyborgs from MK3. So yeah, I'm hype. Because, big nerd, big Mortal Kombat fan. Let's see. What are the people saying? Let's see. Lily, I loved Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels. Well, thank you. I like that one a lot too. I still can't stop watching and laughing at your Wolverine saying unsubscribe. Did you see the T-800 Terminator from Mortal Kombat announcement? Yes, and I'm kind of excited. I mean, it'll be cool to play as like kind of a non-canon Mortal Kombat character in there. I think that'll be fun. I enjoyed the gameplay that it showed, where like his like outer shell melts off and you get to fight as just the skeleton. That looked cool. I did see they released a second video today, I think, with the second fatality where he hits the guy with a motorcycle and just like blasts him into pieces with a shotgun. That's cool. Let's see. The Shawn Michaels vs. The Rock rivalry from 2011 was a classic. Nice. Yeah, I'm going old school, huh? DOA Hitman prefers Human Smoke. Human Smoke was last year's Comic-Con exclusive, and it's a great figure. I mean, there's pretty much any of those ninjas from Storm Collectibles that are on that original Scorpion body. They're awesome. Like, you can't go wrong. But it's nice to be able to have, like, the cyborgs coming out, too, because I think they're trying to make as much money as they can off of these repaints, and then maybe we'll start to get the more specialized characters, like the more unique ones, like the main characters, you could argue, like Liu Kang and Sonya and Johnny Cage and Raiden and all those guys. Because right now, I mean, all the characters are just repaints, except for Goro and Shao Kahn. I mean, you have a Ninja, you have a Cyborg, you're going to get a new version of the Ninja body with the Scorpion coming out, and eventually Katana and Melita are coming out, and you'll probably get Jade, I would imagine, as probably some kind of con exclusive. I like Liu Kang, says Marbarian. Yeah, I do too. They showed like a prototype of the figure, but they didn't actually like paint it yet, and I haven't seen anything about it in a long time. Won't this be the first game to have a Terminator in it since WWE 2K16 or something like that? Maybe. Lily Gordon, I do a sick Thanos voice. Could you do any good voices like Wolverine, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thanos, Thor? Pretty much on my channel, I do the voices of Iron Man and Wolverine and pretty much everything. Spider-Man, Thanos, and Thor I've never done. Let's see. Joseph Miga, I jumped ship to AEW like all those people who jumped ship to Raw after WCW spoiling Mankind winning the championship. I hope it's good. I mean, especially if Jericho's on it. You can't go wrong with Jericho. I would pick watching Jericho over watching myself, so I don't blame you. Zombie, I'm still mad about the head Goro. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. And you know what? If they ever do a repaint as Kintaro, they need to do something with those legs, like them modify the feet. Please, just whatever you got to do, just do it, Storm. And it's so bad because they released their Sagat figure from Street Fighter. I'm going to see if you can find it in frame there. He's up on the shelf. You probably can't see him. He's way in the back behind Ken. You can see his like white trunks. But Sagat has very similar look to Goro in the ankles. Like he's got the feet, like the wraps around his ankles. Tell me how Sagat's ankles work perfectly. Like there is nothing wrong with the ankle articulation on Sagat. So, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that. Yeah, there's Baraka with the blades on the wrong side of his arm. Baraka, yeah, okay, I forgot about Baraka. I don't know why. Probably because he's a jobber. I've heard people say that the blades are on the wrong sides of the arm, and it's weird because like it's supposed to be on the outside, like of the top of his like forearm, basically. But the way the figure is, they're like underneath here. But the thing is, like, if you turn his wrist like that, then it's in the proper position, and like you can get him like this with the blades. Because if they were on the opposite sides, he would be like this with blades on the outside. So I mean, it really depends on how you pose him, and I get that's not ideal. Like you would want the blades to be like kind of in front of the hands at all times, but I don't know. The blades don't bother me in the position they're in. Let's see. I'm still waiting for Cap to debut on AEW and join your brothers. Oh, I'm gonna. I'll be there. Let's see. Devin Storm, what's going on? Baraka is on the job squad. Yeah, he's got to get the shirt, just like Al Snow. Let's see. What up, what up? Kaimo Films, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's see. What did I see? How do I feel that the Bucks like Kenny Omega more than you? I mean, you know, they're friends. You got to support your friends. And Kenny Omega is just running down NXT saying they would be the dark matches of AEW. That's wrestling. That's what you got to say, because you got to believe that you're as good as everybody wants you to think you are. Like, otherwise, what's the point? You can't just be out there being like, yeah, we're all right, I guess. I mean, you can watch NXT too if you want. Can't do that, especially not when you're a young promotion like AEW who's trying to like maintain like some kind of traction for themselves. Let's see. Anyone ever heard of interspecies pro wrestling? Interspecies pro wrestling? So what, like a gorilla wrestling a lion or something? Like, I don't get it. Let's see. Kaimo thinking of getting a BBTS account. Should I do it? Thought I should ask. They're not bad. I've had pretty good luck with them. I've ordered a bunch of stuff over the years from them, and it's always been pretty easy to deal with. I think their shipping is like $4 too, so it's really not bad. If you're ordering like expensive figures, which I know you're a Godzilla guy, so they do. I'm trying to remember if they have. I know they do have like the Monster Arts Ghidorah up there right now, so I'm sure they sell other Monster Arts too. I would say it's probably worth it. I mean, worst case scenario, you don't have to order anything from them. It's free. Let's see. Stone Cold stunned Joey Styles after the match when he sold the JWF title on eBay. Yeah, wow, that's a deep cut. You're going way back. And, well, then again, though, that is the reason why the Intercontinental title is the number one title in JWF, currently held by Chris Jericho. Which, I mean, it's still kind of weird for me to hear myself say it because Shawn Michaels held that belt for so long. Let's see, if I could wrestle in arenas, past or present, who would it be? Let's see. If I could wrestle in, I don't understand the question. Who would it be? Let's see, I should make another 5 Days of Dio series of videos. DOA Hitman. No, it's a wrestling company. Alright, no, it's news to me. And I would like to, I'd like to do some more diorama stuff. I thought about doing just like a one-off video where it's like some of my favorite dioramas that I've built over the years. I might have mentioned this last week, but I'd go back through some of my older ones, like that big rooftop building that I made and one of the Between the Frames. I know it's on there. There was, a few like city building type things I made. Unfortunately, some of the ones that I really liked, I wound up selling. So, there was like kind of a back alley thing with like a, like a catwalk and a fire escape and everything. And I wound up selling that actually to Burnout Inc. Many years ago when I needed some money for moving. And there was one or two other like sci-fi ones that I sold on eBay. I believe actually Burnout Inc. has one of those too with lights and stuff. So there were a lot of cool ones that I unfortunately had to let go just because I was, I needed some money for different things. But, that's actually, there's something cool about that too, knowing that somebody else somewhere is just, they're rocking some of my work. HBK had like a 7-year run. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's true. If you're taking it like week by week and assuming that the shows happen like weeks apart, HBK probably held that belt for like 6 months in JWF time. Marbarian. Oh yeah, the Kurt Brett stop motion back in the day. DOA Hitman. The one that started it all. Where do I keep my Jax figures at? I got most of them in a box in the closet over there. It was a long time ago where I showed them on this stream. I actually found like a whole box of some of my Bret Hart figures because I kept those separate, and a bunch of those are like Jax, like classic superstars and the classic deluxe that I wish I knew where it was when I filmed my review of the the Ultimate Series Bret, because the classic deluxe Bret was in the same gear with like the splatter, and the detail on the Mattel like destroys the Jax one, but the Jax honestly wasn't bad for its time. He had those huge arms though, and that was like, it was kind of killing those figures at the time. I haven't looked at the classic deluxe figures in a long time, so to kind of go back and see those after now having been used to Mattel for so long with the kind of better proportions and everything. Oh, and Devin will like this too. I found a bunch of bone crunching figures in there too. Like I had one of the signature series Triple H's with like the vest and like the green like metallic looking pants with the like 3H logos, and it was good. It was good stuff. I found my Bretts, my bone crunching actions. I had the pink and black. I had the black and pink, and then I had the black and pink from the box set with no sunglasses. I never got the Slammers one. That's the one I had as a kid, but I never got a newer, I guess I should say I never replaced my Slammers one. But yeah, it was cool messing with those old school ones. Let's see. Remember when I shouted me out around Easter time, like last year or year before? DOA Hitman. I don't particularly remember it because I don't do a ton of shout outs. I mean, if people want to come in here and chat, by all means, let's talk. Let's see. I botched. What wrestling arena would I like to wrestle in, past or present? If I'm going to be a wrestler, it's got to be the Garden. Like, that's where everybody wants to go. Is JWF over? Or is it on hiatus? I'm going to say it's hiatus because, let's face it, it'll be back at some point. It's just not going to be for a while. Rite of Passage kind of wrapped up my JWF cinematic universe, like phase 1. So, it'll be a while. So show some of them off. Joseph Megan, maybe next, well, I can't say next week because I'm not going to be able to stream on Wednesday. Yeah, by the way, most of you probably know this already, but I did mention a long while ago that next Wednesday there's a movie playing, this Metallica thing, and it's like only a one-night event, so I'm going. So there won't be a stream on Wednesday. If anything changes and I'm able to stream at a different night, I'll make an Instagram post or like let people know. Let's see, show some of them off. But yeah, I'll get the bone crunching figures and the Jax figures out one of these next streams. Devon Storm, oh boy, I love the BCA line. Yeah, they had some good stuff. Joseph Miga, that Brett also had that awful head. Are you talking about the classic deluxe, the screaming head? Yeah, not great. And I'll be honest, I'm not thrilled with Mattel's version of it either. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, Mattel's newer Ultimate heads, like the smirking one and the straight-faced one, are both really good, I think. Especially if you can, like, fix the hair up a little. But I don't know. As I was looking at my Jax ones, like, the first classic deluxe, or not deluxe, the first classic Superstars Brett still might be my favorite. I don't know. Let's see. I kind of hated the scale of the deluxe figures because if you put them to a regular Ruthless figure, they're bigger and taller. I get that. I definitely, yeah. I mean, Jax was not perfect. Let's by any stretch. Their scale has been terrible pretty much since day one. The only time that really worked is when you had a classic deluxe figure like, I don't know, Kane or The Undertaker or something, and you put him in there with a ruthless aggression like Kurt Angle or Brett or Stone Cold or somebody. So, like, they would be taller like they would be in real life. Let's see. Do I know any places to buy Mortal Kombat and Super Street Fighter? Because the prices on Big Bad are way too high. Well, I got some bad news. Storm Collectibles is expensive. So, yeah, you're looking at about $80 a figure. McFarlane, though, has some Mortal Kombat figures coming out that are going to be about $20 a piece, I think. So that's a much more affordable option for you. And I haven't actually seen them in person yet, but I think they're starting to maybe hit GameStops pretty soon. Like, I feel like I've seen somebody post a picture of them in there, so keep an eye out. Let's see. Seeing Joker tomorrow. I'm so excited and can't wait. I'm going to go, yeah, I think I'm going Monday of next week because I'll have the week off. Be nice. Plus, I can go in when, everybody else is working or in school or whatever, so I don't have to worry about just being mobbed in the crowd. Let's see. What's your favorite Marvel or DC figure made by NECA or even Big Bad Toys? Oh, you mean like sold by Big Bad Toy Store? Because they just sell the figures. They don't actually make any of them. But my favorite DC figure, I still like the Mezco Dark Knight Returns Batman. The first one that they made. It's probably still the best one in my opinion. It's the there's a few different versions. There's the black and gray one. And then there's like the one with the blue with the yellow Batman logo on his chest, who goes around on my channel and used to slap people. That's still probably one of my favorite DC figures. Burnout Inc. It was a good stream. Finally home. Have a good night. Nice. Okay. Glad you made it. Screaming head scans are always a pass. However, on Warrior it works. I agree. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is, but like when Jax especially was notorious for the screaming head scans, it just wasn't. I don't know, it seemed like every figure was like yelling about something. Like, I just prefer not much of that. And as I look at the Mattel figures, like, the ones I got over there anyway, most of them are pretty straight-faced, or like, in some cases, they're like smirking or grinning or something. Like Brian Pillman's got a wild smile on him, but that's just him, Makes sense. That's a big problem with grabbing figures. You got to buy them right when they drop, or you chance it and get it at retail, or you get screwed and the price goes up. Yeah, absolutely. I've suffered from that before. Luckily, what was it? Some of the figures get re-releases at some point down the line, or at least they get made like in different versions. So like the Storm Mortal Kombat line, you might not be able to get Scorpion, the original Scorpion figure, but you can get the newer version that's like the Mortal Kombat trilogy costume, and it looks good. It'll probably be an awesome figure. So if you missed the first one, it sucks, but you can still get an alternative and, make it work. I'm definitely on board. I love Mortal Kombat. I love these figures. Have been great. Street Fighter, I've loved their figures too. Like, there's a bunch that I passed on just because I wasn't interested in the character, or maybe the color choice they used wasn't really my thing, but I'm excited for Cammy coming out. Street Fighter V Cammy coming by the end of the year, I believe. Let's see. Any thoughts on China being in 2K20? I mean, good. It's about time, right? Let's see. Kaimo Films. I still can't pull the trigger on getting a Mezco or Storm figure. They're just too different from the rest of my collection. That's the thing, yeah. Like, Storm really only works with other Storm figures, like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and that kind of thing. And even those are, like, different. I don't have anything directly nearby to be able to show you, but, like, if you were to grab one of the Mortal Kombat ninjas and put him next to, like, one of the Street Fighter characters, even that is different, you know? I will say, though, Storm's Hulk Hogan, their Hollywood Hogan and their red and yellow and whatever, it fits pretty well with the Mattel Elites. So, you know, until Mattel makes their NWO Hogan or whatever, like, it's not a bad option. Let's see. One or two more things here, and then we'll call it a night. Let's see. Cammy is thick with 3 C's. I had the chance to get Vader for $30, but I passed, and now it's way too expensive for me. It is not Vader time. That's another one. Like, hopefully Mattel does a re-release, because they did the same thing with that second Vader that came out with the Mastodon helmet, whatever it was. Because the first one, he had like the 2 masks and like the black gear and the cape and everything. And I missed it and it got expensive. And then when they did the second version with like the red Vader time gear and like the big helmet, I was like, okay, that's the one I'm getting. And in a way it worked out because I like that gear better. But that's one thing I will say. Mattel is good at getting figures out there because wrestlers wear so many different things. So if you miss somebody, odds are you're going to be able to pick them up again down the line just wearing something different. That's how I wound up with like Bam Bam Bigelow and like Kevin Nash. Like I missed the original like all red one, but the ringside one came out and I was like, okay, I can finally get it. So, you know, you'll have a choice down the road, I'm sure. Yeah, Taz versus Kurt Angle in a cage match where the Brett versus Kurt rivalry started. Yeah, I mean, I never... In the video, I was careful to not say that that's directly where it started. Like, who knows? They might have had a rivalry going into that. But I just wanted to be able to, like, catch somebody's attention. It's like if you turn on a wrestling show, like, for the first time in your life, and you see 2 guys that are in a rivalry, odds are it didn't just start right then. Like, they've probably been fighting for a while. So... that's what I wanted to do with JWF. Like, the first thing you watch, it's like you're just right in it. And they don't give you a ton of explanation. You just get the point that these guys don't like each other and they want to fight. All right. The worst is when you have to settle with a basic. Oh, yeah. Swig a beer for that one. Especially with the way the basics are now. God. One final thought on basics. They had those Shawn Michaels, like the Chase figures coming out, with like the red and white like zebra print gear, and it looks great, but those basics don't do anything for me anymore. I have to check and see if I can swap the old basic boots onto the new basic bodies, because if you can do that, I might still grab those Shawn Michaels figures and be able to do something with them, because those new boots are terrible. Awful, in fact. That said, my name is Captain McKay. This has been the Captain's Log. Sorry to interrupt everybody's AEW and NXT experience. I'm truly terrible for that. Good news is, next week, as I mentioned, you'll be able to watch it uninterrupted because I won't be able to stream. So the bad news is there won't be a stream. So if anything changes, I'll be sure to let everybody know. Until the next Vader time, I've been Captain McKay, and we'll see you later.